Welcome to another exploration of human behavior and the mechanics of the mind. Today, we are deconstructing one of the most pervasive issues in modern cognitive performance: the inability to maintain sustained focus. Consider this scenario. You commit to a dedicated study session. You promise yourself 1 solid hour of deep work with zero interruptions. Yet, barely 10 minutes into this commitment, your brain begins to offer resistance. It generates an urgent, almost itch-like compulsion to check your messages, convinced you might be missing critical information. Before you even consciously register the decision, you have abandoned your study materials and are scrolling through a feed. Here is the crucial realization: you did not actively choose this distraction. Your brain's automated systems chose it for you. In this session, we are going to dismantle the psychological and neurobiological mechanisms that hold your attention hostage, and we will provide the established protocols to reclaim your cognitive autonomy. It is time to rewire your default settings. Let us begin with the evolutionary basis of distraction. Structurally, your brain is functionally mismatched for the modern digital environment. It evolved over millennia for an ancestral landscape where survival depended on hypervigilance, noticing sudden movements, novel sounds, or potential threats. Consequently, your brain is hardwired to prioritize novelty above all else. In today's context, every digital notification mimics these ancestral environmental cues, triggering an immediate assessment for threat or reward. This is driven largely by the dopaminergic system. Contrary to popular belief, dopamine is not primarily a molecule of pleasure. It is a molecule of motivation and anticipation. It is the chemical that compels you to seek. Every digital interaction provides a microdose of this neurochemical, effectively training your brain to crave continuous, high-frequency stimulation. When you attempt to engage in low-stimulation tasks like studying, the absence of these rapid dopamine hits registers as discomfort or even genuine psychological pain. However, neuroplasticity offers a solution. You can systematically retrain this reward system to find stability in focus rather than chaos. The mechanism for this change is what neuroscientists refer to as neuroplasticity. This is your brain's inherent ability to physically reorganize itself based on repeated input. It is a simple functional rule: neurons that fire together wire together. Every instance you successfully resist an urge to break focus, even for just 10 minutes, you are physically reinforcing the neural pathways associated with concentration. Conversely, every time you yield to a distraction, you reinforce the pathways of fragmentation. Concentration is not an innate talent. It is a cognitive capability that must be conditioned through deliberate practice, much like skeletal muscle. We can implement this conditioning through 3 advanced, evidence-based systems. First, we have the Dopamine Reset Protocol. This involves committing to a 60-minute work block completely devoid of external, supraphysiological stimuli. No phones, no audible alerts, and no music with lyrical content. Initial implementation will be highly uncomfortable. Your brain will actively rebel, craving its usual escape routes. However, clinical observation suggests that around the 15-minute threshold, a cognitive shift occurs. The prefrontal cortex, the executive center responsible for higher-order planning and focus, finally engages fully. This is the gateway to deep work. Following this threshold, you will likely experience a distinct sense of calm as your brain readapts to a baseline state of stillness. The second system is the anchor habit technique, which leverages principles of classical conditioning. By consistently pairing a specific, unique physical stimulus with your study sessions, such as a particular article of clothing, a specific ambient scent, or a dedicated instrumental playlist, you create a neurological association. Over time, this stimulus becomes a powerful anchor. Just as Pavlov's dogs were conditioned to anticipate food at the sound of a bell, your brain can be conditioned to enter a state of deep concentration immediately upon encountering your chosen anchor. You are essentially engineering a rapid entry mechanism for focus. The third system utilizes the 2-minute momentum rule to overcome initial limbic friction. The brain's energy-conserving nature often resists the initiation of effortful tasks more than the execution of them. By committing to only 2 minutes of engagement, you bypass this initial resistance. Once you begin the mechanical process of writing or solving, a psychological phenomenon known as the Zeigarnik effect often takes over. This is the brain's inherent tension toward completing unfinished tasks. By starting small, you leverage this need for cognitive closure to pull you into deeper work automatically. Ultimately, these systems aim to facilitate the flow state. This is a rigorously studied psychological zone where cognitive resources and task demands are perfectly matched. In this state, temporal perception dilates and effort feels frictionless. Research indicates three prerequisites for entering flow: clear and precisely defined goals, a task that offers a manageable level of challenge just above your current skill level, and the complete elimination of external attentional residue. When these conditions align, the brain releases a potent neurochemical cocktail including dopamine, norepinephrine, and anandamide, maximizing performance and pattern recognition. You no longer have to fight for focus, you become absorbed by it. Beyond mere productivity, this is a process of restructuring your identity. Every choice to sustain attention is a vote for a new type of self-conception. You are moving from identifying as someone who is easily swayed by their environment to someone who exerts executive control over their own mind. Psychologically, identity is a stronger driver of long-term behavior than fleeting willpower. When you truly view yourself as a focused individual, the disciplined actions follow as a natural consequence. In an attention economy designed to monetize your distracted mind, the ability to direct your focus is perhaps the most critical competitive advantage. You do not require more hours in your day, you require more cognitive presence in the hours you already have. The next time you sit down to work, understand that you are not merely processing information, you are actively engaging in the neurobiological reprogramming of your own brain. Future retrospective will likely reveal that this capacity for sustained attention was your most significant asset. Train the mechanism, control the outcome. If you found this analysis valuable, subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based investigations into maximizing human potential. Leave a comment below on which focus system you intend to implement first.